Some people tap their feet, some people snap their fingers, and some people just sway back and forth. I just sort of do them all together, I guess.
And now here is Elvis Presley.
I got news for you, baby.
So excited, I can't wait.
I think Presley was a star.
Well, heard the news.
Oh, he's such a sexy person. He will always be the king no matter what.
Production on the Elvis film of Baz Luhrmann had been set to begin filming on March 16 when all of a sudden this news was announced.
Can you believe Tom Hanks and wife Rita Wilson have tested positive for the coronavirus? Melissa, they made this announcement. Does this mean that they're the first big-name celebrities that we know of?
It certainly seems like it, right? Or at least to publicly announce that they are battling the coronavirus. This was Tom Hanks sharing this information, their diagnosis, on his Twitter and Instagram accounts last night. So he found out while in Australia, where he's working on an Elvis biopic. Hanks posted this message on Instagram saying that they felt a bit tired, like we had colds and some body aches. Rita had some chills that came and went. They had slight fevers too. We were tested for the coronavirus and were found to be positive. They will be tested, observed, and isolated for as long as public health and safety requires, and that they are taking things one day at a time. Hanks is set to play Presley's longtime manager. Warner Brothers says it's working with Australian health agencies to identify and contact anyone who may have come into contact with Hanks or his wife.
At first it was told by a representative of the movie that the production would restart in early April. Not long after that, director Baz Luhrmann announced that his upcoming Elvis movie will not be continuing production for a while. Quote, "I'm sure it will come as no surprise that this is not the moment to be resuming production on the film." He closes his tweet with, "We have a passionate conviction to be back here on the Gold Coast, picking up where we left off as soon as the time is right."
Breaking news, one of the most iconic homes in Memphis and a major driver in Memphis tourism is temporarily closing its doors. Tomorrow, Graceland will shut down through April 3rd due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Graceland officials say the closure is in the best interest of staff, guests, and everyone.
A day after this news broadcast, Priscilla made it clear in a tweet that the date of April 3rd was not achievable, stating that Graceland is to reopen just as soon as it is advisable to do so. As a sign of solidarity, the Graceland mansion will be lit red, white and blue nightly at sunset until it reopens to the public. Elvis, That's the Way It Is, which was set to be re-screened on cinemas around the world on April 22nd, has now been postponed due to the closing of cinemas worldwide because of the coronavirus. The new date is set for August 13. To close this corona section of the Elvis news, here is some sound advice from Neil Diamond.
Hands, washing hands, reaching out, don't touch me, I won't touch you. Oh, sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good.
The Rolling Stone magazine ran a very lengthy article about the business revenue of Elvis with the title, "Can Elvis Rise Again?" I have made a summary of the most important aspects of this story. In 2013, the Authentic Brands Group, ABG, bought the rights in a $145 million deal to the licensing and merchandising of Presley's name, image and likeness. It is said by ABG that the Elvis empire is in need of a reboot. The good news is that their CEO promises that next year will be probably the biggest year in the history of Elvis Presley. This year they are developing plans and making a strategy because there are reasons for concern. The older generation goes away and a large group of youngsters never heard one of Presley's songs, despite the fact that Elvis' songs were streamed a respectable 544 million times last year. ABG has compiled a brochure with Presley statistics. It shows that the bulk of his fanbase is 35 and older. with only 11% below the age of 34. Those 17 and under account for just 1.6%. That is also a reason why ABG is interested in commissioning more dance remixes like the remix of A Little Less Conversation. The CEO of ABG says, "We feel strongly that that will help us with that generation, because they are not growing up with rock." By the way, these numbers look pretty similar to the statistics of my Elvis Presley News Report channel. You can see that the first group above the 10% is the one between 45 and 54 years old with 24%. Then comes the group between 55 and 64 years with 33%. But the largest group remains the one of 65 years and older with 34%. Also noteworthy is that 57% of the viewers is male and 43% is female. But let's return to the summarize of the Rolling Stone article. Sony Music is considering to use more photos of the younger Elvis and not the jumpsuit era king. John Jackson, the Sony Music vice president who oversees Presley's back catalog, says, "You don't present him as a rocker. You present him as this iconic American story." Sony is also considering subtler strategies like downplaying Elvis's age during birthday celebrations. John Jackson says, "When we get to his centennial, that will feel like he is old." To me, the most interesting part of the article was that Sony is currently at work on a That's the Way It Is box set and that they are also supplying master tapes for the Baz Luhrmann Elvis movie. This means that besides the That's the Way It Is book and CD of Follow That Dream Records, also Sony Legacy Records will release a That's the Way It Is box set this year. And now we also know that besides Austin Butler's own singing in the movie, we also will hear Elvis's singing voice in the movie. And that is good news to us, the fans. Hello everybody, I've got some good news to tell, but unfortunately the Western world has changed considerably since we were into each other some 5 weeks ago. The coronavirus is spreading like wildfire. It affects our daily lives and we have to be very cautious. Please follow the instructions to stay as safe as possible. Please take care of your loved ones and see if you can do something for the lonely ones in your surroundings. In the wake of all of this, the good news is rather relative, but last month's video was very successful with over 26,000 views and more than 500 new subscribers. Thank you very much. As promised, I am presenting you a video with a peek behind the scenes of my Elvis Presley News Report. Please continue watching as the video will also be presented to you at the end of this video. For now, goodbye. Paramount Pictures announced a new label for their new line of collectible Blu-ray discs from the studio's vast library under the name Paramount Presents. One of the first 3 titles that will be released on April 21st is the Blu-ray disc of King Creole. The movie has been meticulously remastered and upgraded to 4K Dolby Vision and will include brand new bonus content. In the Elvis Presley News Report of November 2019, I told you that Blue Hawaii would be the next album to get the Sessions treatment. The latest news is that this project is halted as they are trying to locate 2 missing master tapes containing the earliest takes of Can't Help Falling in Love. Because of this, FTD now announced the release of the Kid Galahad Sessions. It includes many remixed and remastered unreleased studio outtakes. This 7-inch deluxe 2 CD package features a 28-page booklet with an insightful essay, memorabilia and rare photos. As part of its ongoing Live on Tour series, FTD announced the release of Elvis St. Louis /Spokane. Released as a 2-CD 5-inch digipack, this set features Elvis at the Kiel Auditorium St. Louis on March 22nd and at the Coliseum Spokane, Washington on April 27, 1976. The St. Louis show has Shane Keister on piano instead of Glenn D. Harding and Larry London on drums instead of Ron Tudd. Due to the coronavirus outbreak, these two FTD releases are postponed to at least the second week of April. In short, for the first time in history of Record Store Day, there will be no official Elvis vinyl album release in the USA. For your information, because of the coronavirus pandemic, the Record Store Day of April 4 will be postponed till June 20. In February, country singer Tanya Tucker and crew visited Graceland. She also shared a video of her encounter with Elvis.
Yes, I met Elvis. Was invited to his performance at the Hilton in Las Vegas. It was called the International then. And was invited by his piano player, Glenn D. Hardin. And it was real special. It was very special. We got to go back and meet him and spend a little time with him. And me and my sister and I, La Costa. And he was everything that I hoped he would be. And I think God knew it was important to me. So it was a special, special time. And he was very, very much a gentleman. And I'd have to say the most beautiful human being I've ever seen in my life. I was that close, let me tell you.
The correct answer to last month's trivia question was that in all these three songs,
Ready for a celebration.
European cities are being named. The trivia question of this month is, can you tell me which singular or plural noun in the lyrics these three songs have in common? Place your answer in the comments. This is a very important message to all the people who once hit my subscribe button, as I've noticed that about 80% of you have not installed the YouTube notification bell. Because of this, you are not being notified when a new video has become available. Let me explain. Each time when I upload a video, YouTube gives me the option to publish the subscriptions feed and allow notifications to subscribers. Of course, I always tick this box, thinking that I'm reaching all my subscribers. But here is the wake-up call. Not the 4,900 subscribers which I had last month were reached, but only 943 subscribers got notified because they had all notifications turned on in their settings. To make things even worse, of those 943 notifications which were sent, only 73 people saw the video. That is a click-through rate of 7.7%. That may look bad, but it is actually quite high compared to the typical YouTube percentage. I am giving the most simple instruction of how to turn on the YouTube notification bell. Go to your account. Click the icon in the top right hand corner of your screen. Then click Settings. You will come onto a new page and click in the left hand bar onto the word Notifications. After clicking Notifications, this page shows up. Now make sure you slide the subscriptions dot to the right. It will change from color. Once it is blue, you know that the notification bell is activated and you won't miss a single video of mine. If this was helpful, then please give the video a like for this information. That's all for this month. Hope to see you next time. Until then, have a happy Elvis Presley Day.
You have a happy